Welcome to the Mystery Vault. Space agencies around the world talk openly about Mars, the Moon, and future plans for exploration. But there is one destination they never mention. A world so close and yet so hidden that the public only knows it by a harmless scientific name, Proxima b. What you are about to hear is the story governments swore would never leave the classified vaults. A mission that launched in absolute silence, a crew no one ever admitted existed, and a discovery that proves humanity may no longer be alone or in control. This is the secret mission to Proxima b, humanity's first off-world colony. But to understand why this mission was created, we need to go back to a moment when astronomers first noticed something impossible. In 2017, a strange signal was detected coming directly from the Proxima Centauri system. At first it was dismissed as interference, then as a glitch. But when a second identical signal was recorded 11 days later, containing a repeated pattern of prime numbers, panic quietly erupted inside the scientific elite. Someone or something was sending information with mathematical intent. Instead of alerting the public, a closed-door international committee was created. The decision they made would change the fate of humanity. We send a vessel, unmanned, publicly, manned, privately. In 2019, the world celebrated the launch of a routine deep space probe. What no one knew was that hidden inside was a cryogenic chamber with 6 individuals chosen for reasons still unknown. Soldiers? Scientists? Something else? Their identities remain sealed. The ship vanished into the darkness, accelerating faster than any propulsion system officially exists. It wasn't supposed to return for decades, but then 3 years later, early 2022, astronomers picked up a new transmission. One that matched the original signal, except this time it contained a human voice, and just as the world prepared to ask questions, the transmission was encrypted, classified, and erased from public access. The encrypted transmission recovered in 2022 was unlike anything the intelligence agencies had ever encountered. At first, analysts thought it was corrupted, its audio fractured and layered with static. But once the distortion was removed, a single voice emerged, weak, trembling, almost whispering through time and space. We made contact, but it's not what they told us. The voice belonged to one of the 6 undisclosed crew members, someone who officially had never existed. What terrified analysts wasn't the voice itself, but the background. You could hear rhythmic pulses, metallic echoes, and a faint hum, as if the person was standing inside a structure. Not a spacecraft, and certainly not on Earth. There was atmosphere, there was resonance, there was intelligence. Satellite records show that within minutes of the signal leak, the European Southern Observatory, NASA, and China's CNSA simultaneously restricted all public data related to the Proxima system. Telescopes were recalibrated, live star feeds were abruptly disabled, and internal emails were wiped from servers. Someone was sealing every crack. But the message had already been archived by civilian radio enthusiasts before it was scrubbed. Forensic audio experts later discovered something chilling. The background hum carried a modulation that matched no human-made technology. It was a pattern, speaking back. The rest of the message was fragmented. The structures aren't abandoned. They were waiting. The sky isn't a sky. Don't trust the mission logs. They knew. They always knew. Then silence. Global intelligence agencies initiated what insiders later called the Proxima Containment Protocol. Every scientist associated with the signal was reassigned, silenced, or placed under new non-disclosure contracts. Civilian researchers who asked too many questions had funding pulled overnight. The official explanation: signal interference caused by terrestrial weather patterns. A laughable excuse for anyone who had actually heard the transmission. Behind the curtain, classified task forces examined one crucial question: if the crew made contact, what or who did they meet? Months later, leaked documents revealed that Earth-based observatories detected an unnatural dimming cycle around Proxima b, consistent with artificial megastructures, not unlike the theoretical Dyson swarms proposed by physicists. Humanity's first off-world colony might not be the first colony on that world. And one more detail sent shockwaves through black-budget circles. Proxima B's surface temperature changed abruptly. Within 48 hours of the transmission, something had awakened. In the months following the leaked transmission, astronomers around the world noticed something else, something they were never supposed to detect. Proxima b began reflecting anomalous infrared signatures, the kind produced not by natural geology, but by industry, energy grids, and large-scale heat emissions. Yet officially, the planet was still a barren, rocky world, but the classified mission logs painted a very different picture. The first landing module, codename Ascension 1, descended through an atmosphere that should not have existed. Instead of a lifeless vacuum, the crew reported cloud formations, electrical storms, and bioluminescent particles drifting like glowing dust around the capsule. At 03:14 mission time, they broke through the final atmospheric layer and saw them structures. Artificial structures, geometric towers, miles-wide formations aligned with celestial coordinates, and at the center, a monolithic ring pulsing with internal light. But the visual feed the world got was doctored, static, noise, and camera failure. The real footage showed something the public was never allowed to see: humanoid silhouettes standing motionless at the edge of the landing plane, watching the module descend, as if they had been expecting it. The crew's biometric sensors spiked. Heart rates shot up. Radiation levels fluctuated into patterns, almost rhythmic, more like signals than natural bursts. Mission Commander Elias Norwood uttered the now famous line, "We're not the first ones here." And then, minutes later, the crew's vitals began changing. Blood pressure dropping, oxygen processing becoming unstable, neural activity spiking in patterns no neurologist could explain. It wasn't environmental. It wasn't biological. It was external influence. Something or someone was interacting with their nervous systems remotely. Through declassified fragments, scientists later discovered the truth. The structures emitted frequencies similar to ultra-low electromagnetic waves, waves known to alter human perception, memory, and emotional response. And then came the detail that froze every analyst who read it. When the crew approached the monolithic ring, the light within it changed shape, not randomly. It formed symbols. Symbols identical to ancient carvings found on Earth, matching Dogon diagrams, Sumerian star maps, and even the patterns etched on forbidden petroglyphs in Australia. How could a planet 4.24 light-years away share symbols with ancient human civilizations? Unless humanity had been there before, or something from Proxima had been here first. The last seconds of the real video feed are still classified, but eyewitness descriptions agree on one chilling phrase: the ring opened, and then the transmission cut. The crew vanished from all subsequent logs, and the world was told the mission never existed. For years, governments have insisted that Proxima b is nothing more than a rocky exoplanet, a scientific curiosity, not a destination. But when the leaked transmission resurfaced in late 2023, shared anonymously on 3 encrypted forums, one new piece of information appeared. A line that had been redacted in every previous version. The ring. It's not a structure, it's a doorway. This changed everything. Astrophysicists, who privately analyzed the waveform embedded in the crew member's voice, discovered a secondary signal hidden beneath it, a harmonic resonance that matched quantum tunneling signatures. The same theoretical patterns scientists once believed could allow matter to move across space-time. The ring wasn't just emitting energy. It was activating, and perhaps the most shocking revelation came from a scientist who later defected and leaked a portion of the classified report. The frequency pattern recorded near the ring was identical to the anomaly detected on Earth during several unexplained events: ancient pyramidal chambers, deep ocean oscillation points, and secret archaeological sites long sealed from the public. In other words, Earth and Proxima b share a technological fingerprint, a connection older than humanity itself. What happened to the rest of the crew is still unknown. Satellite archives show that after the final transmission, The probe's energy signature expanded, as if the entire craft had been consumed by a gravitational distortion, or had crossed into a region beyond measurable physics. Governments quietly shifted funding into off-world contingency programs. New telescopes were launched earlier than scheduled. Black-budget aerospace divisions increased activity around quantum propulsion. Something changed after the mission, something they're preparing for. And maybe the real question isn't what the crew found on Proxima B, but why something on Proxima B was waiting for us. Because the decrypted final message, the one-line analysts weren't able to suppress, said, "Do not follow us. We are not coming back." If you want more investigations like this, hidden missions, extraterrestrial secrets, and the mysteries they don't want you to uncover, subscribe to At the Mystery Vault 777 and unlock the truth.